Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, along with several others that are focused on different destinations. We are also an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner. And what that means is that we are trained by Disney, often on site, and recognized by them as being experts in their vacation product and also providing excellent customer service. This is Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're really excited to be in this group tonight to talk to you about a topic that is near and dear to our hearts, and that is why you should not skip Epcot. So we have a lot of things that we want to share with you about that topic tonight, but we also would love to hear from you. So if you have questions at any point while we are sharing, our thoughts and opinions, or if you want to let everybody know your opinion as to why you shouldn't skip Epcot, please feel free to go ahead and drop those in the comments at any point, and we will come back and highlight all of those at the end of the video. We are using a program called StreamYard to go live, and so if you want to post a question or a comment, StreamYard might ask you to approve it to display your profile picture as well as your username. Just know you don't have to agree to that. You can decline that, and you can still post anonymously, and we'll still be able to, interact with you in the comments, even if we can't see your information. But I'm joined tonight by three of our marvelous agents. Ladies, thank you so much for being here tonight. And if you could take just a second to tell everybody your name, how long you've been with the agency, and what the best way is for them to contact you if they're interested in planning a vacation.
Sure. Hi, my name is Allison DePisa. I am a master planner with Marvelous Mouse Travels. I've been with the agency for just about 2 years now. And find me on Facebook at Allison MMT. Love to help you plan your trip.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jen McGurn, and I am a master planner with Marvelous Mouse Travels. I've been with the agency for 3.5 years, and the best way to reach me is through my Facebook page right there.
Hi, my name is Christina Morales, and I have been an agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels for a year now, and I'm really excited to be part of this podcast. If you'd like to contact me, my information is right there on the screen.
And again, my name is Ginger. I am also a master planner. I have been with the agency just over 3 years, and the best way to get in touch with me is to go to my blog, which is gingermmt.com. That has links to all of my different social media platforms, primary one of which is YouTube. So, ladies, I see a lot of different claims in like different groups that I'm part of, or different message boards and stuff related to Disney, saying that if you're going to skip a Disney park, that you should skip Epcot. And it always kind of breaks my heart a little bit because I love Epcot. It is my second favorite, second only to Magic Kingdom. In fact, my rank order kind of goes in the order in which the parks opened. So Magic Kingdom is my favorite, then Epcot, then Hollywood Studios, and then Animal Kingdom. And so, I know we all we wouldn't be talking about this topic tonight if we didn't love Epcot. But I thought that we would kind of take the three most common reasons that I see given as to why you should skip Epcot and kind of debunk those a little bit. And then at the end, we'll kind of share our personal opinions as to why we personally, as guests, do not skip Epcot when we go to Disney World. So myth number one is that there's nothing for kids at Epcot. I see this one all the time. So what is your opinion on what there is for kids to do at Epcot?
Well, personally for me, I love going into the seas with Nemo and friends. That's definitely a very kid-friendly area. They have the Frozen ride in the Norway Pavilion. They have so many characters that you can only see at Epcot. So if that's important to your kids, that's something else to consider. But there's so much to see and so much to do. I don't think that your kids would be bored at Epcot.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And even, the rides are fantastic, and I think we'll touch on them a little bit more in a few minutes, but even just being able to walk the countries with your kids and kind of I mean, I personally feel like I am entering each country when I go to Epcot. I think the theming and the attention to detail is so, fantastic, as only Disney could do. And being able to take your kids through and kind of give them just a sneak peek at what it's like to, experience other cultures, other food, other drinks, other art, and different, the different, movies and shows that they have, performers. I think that's pretty excellent. And they've got those kid cut stops at each of the countries. And I know it's been, pared down a little bit because of the pandemic, but there are, activities for kids to be able to kind of grab and go and take with them to be able to, work on later, and more a little bit of an education, but fun at the same time as Disney does. So,
Yeah.
I like too how they have some sort of entertainment, it seems like, at each country. They're starting to bring back,
Yep.
Dancers, or they have performers. And I think it's just cool for my kids to see that, to experience, like you said, the different cultures and things to do. I know they had a scavenger. Do they still have the scavenger hunt at Nemo? Is it like a Dory scavenger hunt? There used to be where they could go through and find it's just do it on your own. So it's like a little paper thing that they could go through and find certain things in there. Yeah, something like that. So there's always like little things to do. It's not just going to see the rides. There's extra stuff to do there too in the countries.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the scavenger hunt, I mean, Epcot is famous for its festivals throughout the year. And at each of those festivals, there is a very kid-oriented activity to do. The scavenger hunts, such as looking for Remy at the Food and Wine Festival, or looking for Olaf at the Festival of the Holidays. I mean, they make sure that there's plenty for your kids to do too, while mom and dad are making their way around the World Showcase.
Can we talk about the cavalcades too? They have those there at Epcot. My kids love those.
Yes.
Yeah, those are awesome. And, if you have, like, my little girl is a huge Frozen fan. And if you have a Frozen fan, that the Frozen ride, the only Frozen themed ride at Disney World, is in Epcot. And we'll talk a little bit more about the other rides. But like, if your little girl wants to see Elsa and Anna, or, wants to feel like they're in Arendelle, that is definitely Epcot is the place you need to be. Obviously, right now it's a little bit different with the character meets, but during normal operations, there is an Anna and Elsa character meet that's there in the Norway Pavilion. They have started, bringing the princesses kind of back to the park. Epcot is a great character park, and there really are some great opportunities for you to see Belle, or to see Aurora, or Mulan, and Jasmine, and kind of get to experience that too. So definitely there's tons of stuff for kids to do.
Once dining returns in full, they have a great princess meal.
Yes.
You can meet all those princesses you just mentioned at one meal. So that is definitely worth taking your kids over when that's available again.
Yes, I love Royal Akershus. That's actually our favorite princess meal as a family.
Yeah.
Because like my daughter, I have a video about this actually on my YouTube channel, but my daughter got to do the little princess procession, and she got to hold Cinderella's hand, and it was the most precious experience. Cinderella was so good with her, and just made that like the most memorable, like that to this day. And that's been a couple of years ago. Cinderella is still her favorite princess for that reason, so I love that one too. So I mean, definitely there are lots of things for your kids to do, whether your kids are interested in meeting characters, or whether they are wanting to do a scavenger hunt. My kids love those too, or if they are into history, or they're interested in things like that. Like, even as a child, that's what I remember about Epcot, is going to each country pavilion and just feeling immersed in that, because I have always loved history. I've always loved learning about other cultures, and you get the opportunity to do that, and to feel like you're kind of stepping into these other countries, but you don't need a passport. And so it's a really fun way to kind of whet your kids' appetite, maybe even for international travel someday. And then you might want to look into something like Adventures by Disney or something like that to give them, the real experience.
And I think there's a lot to come for kids at Epcot as well. And we'll talk about the construction and what's coming. And with the pandemic, some things have changed, but I know that there is some Moana coming, and there is going to be that kids play zone. It's got 3 names and I can't remember what
I
it
know.
is, but
I can't either.
it looks really fun. There's a lot of neon lights and
Yeah.
gaming and what all the kids are into. So I think there's definitely more to come with all the changes we're going to see
For sure.
at Epcot, and that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to myth number 2 here. Myth number 2 is that there are not many rides at Epcot. And we all kind of giggle because what are people missing out on if they're thinking there's no rides at Epcot?
So my favorite ride at Disney, and I mean, I think a lot of people maybe look at me funny when I say this, is Test Track, second to Jungle Cruise. But I absolutely adore Test Track. I do miss the old crash test dummy theming, but my son loves it because he gets to design this car. And I just really love the way that you're taken through the track and you're moving around. And then, of course, at the end, that's the fastest ride on Disney property, going over 60 miles an hour, that big loop and the wind in your hair and you're screaming. And that's one of my all-time favorite rides at all the parks. So can't be missed.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a huge Soarin' fan. I mean, you can't go to Disney World and not ride Soarin'. It's so beautiful and it's so fun. And there's nothing like it anywhere else in those parks.
I agree, Jen. That is my favorite ride at Disney World. My very favorite. Like it's not even close.
Yep.
I agree. Mine too. I love Soarin'.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with Soarin', Soarin' is it feels like you're kind of hang gliding around the world. And so, you get to see the Great Wall of China and the pyramids and, the Taj Mahal and all kinds of different places, the Eiffel Tower. Like it really is pretty awesome. And it's a whole sensory experience too, because you're seeing it, but you're also smelling it because they have those special Disney smeltzers where, when you're going over the savannah in Africa, you smell the dirt, you smell the grass
and you feel the wind in your face.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's a very immersive experience. It's the only theme park ride I've ever been on where at the end of it people applauded.
Yeah.
People clap like that was great. I love it. Yeah.
And it's easy on the stomach. As somebody who is very prone to motion sickness, I can easily do that one where, maybe Flight of Passage, which is kind of similar.
Yeah.
That one roughs me up a little bit, but I can ride Soarin', all day. So
yeah, same.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's a great one for kids too, because it's a very gentle ride. So if you have kids that are a little worried about the bigger rides or the more grown-up rides, Soarin's a great family ride for everyone.
It is, for sure.
Oh, and we can't not mention Frozen.
Of course.
I was going to say, I'm like a big child. I'll wait in that line.
Yeah.
To ride
through there.
I love that.
Me too. I think I like that one more than my daughter does, honestly, as much as she loves Frozen. Yeah. I love that ride.
It's hard not to sing along.
And my kids, they like the ride, but when there's a long line, they're like, we've ridden it before. Can we skip it? And I'm like, we're not skipping Frozen. You have to ride Frozen.
That's right. And we didn't mention Spaceship Earth, but Spaceship Earth is iconic Disney. Because like we were talking about with Soarin', where it is that kind of immersive experience. When Rome is burning, you are smelling Rome burning, and it kind of takes you through history. But then at the end, there's that really fun section where you get to like pick your future and it like animates your future and everything. So those are always really funny because like the last time we rode it, my husband's face was like in pieces, like it wasn't his whole face. And so we were just laughing hysterically, the fact that half of his face was not showing up for some reason. Yeah. But I mean, definitely you've got that. And I know this ride is divisive. People either love it or they hate it. Who is a Mission Space fan here? Yeah. No, me either.
I ride the less intense while my kids ride the more intense.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just, it's the motion sickness element, which I know is the, that way for a lot of different people. But if you are not, prone to motion sickness and you want a really awesome ride simulator, you can get that with Mission Space. And you do kind of have the option of, do you want that more intense experience or do you want that slightly less intense experience?
My kids always love to play in that little play area, the advanced training lab at the end of that ride. We could spend an hour in there just playing and running through, and that was a lot of fun for them.
Right.
Yeah, Absolutely. And that's the cool thing about Epcot. Like outside of Spaceship Earth, you have those kind of interactive elements. Outside of Journey into Imagination, you have those interactive elements and things like that. Living with the Land is another one that my kids find really interesting. Like my son is really into science. And so like he likes to see how things are done and how he's really interested in weather patterns and how crops are grown. And you get to learn about stuff like that in Living with the Land. So he really enjoys that one as well.
And that one's always different. The plants
Mhm.
they have in there are always different every time we go through, every time we visit Disney.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool to see like a working greenhouse, like they're actually doing, using things or creating things, growing things that they use in the parks, which is awesome to see.
And then you'll be at a restaurant and on the menu it will tell you that
Yeah.
the vegetables in your salad came from the land.
Yes.
I mean, how cool is
Yeah.
that?
That's very cool. Very cool.
I also really enjoy the Nemo ride.
Yes. I love that one.
I just love finding Nemo and
Mhm.
following him through the little journey. And
Yeah.
it ends with the song that they use in the musical over at Animal Kingdom. So
Mhm.
that's always fun to like sit in your little car and sing along at the end.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a happy ride.
My kids love the Three Caballeros because there's a Three
best.
Caballeros, there's the new animated series or newish animated series on Disney Plus, and they love that. And so getting to see the Three Caballeros, they love that one as well. And even though it's not a ride, it is an attraction. I don't know if you guys have gotten to experience the Beauty and the Beast sing along yet in the France Pavilion. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Who doesn't love, belting out those songs at the
Right.
top of their lungs?
Yeah.
But you get to see some of like the props from the live action Beauty and the Beast on your way in. And it kind of there's a cute little backstory that kind of changes your view of Beauty and the Beast a little bit in that. And I won't spoil it for those who haven't gotten to do it, but it's so cute.
It's very cute.
Well worth doing.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And then, of course, they have 2 new rides coming.
Mhm.
One is right around the corner with the Ratatouille ride.
Yes.
So I'm very excited for that.
Yep.
That's going to be great.
That is going to be
October
great.
1st. Yep. October 1st.
Yes.
Not
And
wait.
Guardians of the Galaxy, which will be another thrill ride for the adults. But, I'm sure there's kids that are Guardians fans that'll be running to get on that ride too.
Yeah.
The music is going to be great. That
my gosh.
Yes.
Definitely. I'm super excited about that one. And the Ratatouille ride, like if you have gotten the opportunity to ride Rise of the Resistance in Hollywood Studios, or also Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Hollywood Studios, it's that kind of trackless technology. It's the same type of thing that you're going to experience in Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So it's going to be really cute, and I'm very excited to ride that one. Yeah. Any others that we missed? Did we get them all?
Did we get them all?
You mentioned
Journey into Imagination. I know that's a
Yes.
classic.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that one in passing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
Figment.
it's classic.
Yeah, Figment is kind of the icon of Epcot, so we
If you
can't,
touch that
we can't
ride,
leave that one out.
I'm happy.
I know. I rode that when I was a child. I mean, it's been around for a while.
I know. It has.
It's been updated and changed, but it's
Yes.
Figment, and we love him.
That's right.
Yeah, we do too.
Yep.
All right. So definitely debunked that myth. There are lots of different rides, lots of different intensity levels, even more rides coming. So definitely, you don't want to think of Epcot as a no rides park. There's lots of stuff to do there. All right, let's talk about myth number 3 here, which is that there's too much construction at Epcot. Now, we have mentioned Epcot is in a state of transition to a certain extent right now, especially Future World. They are really, reworking a whole lot of that area. And I think a lot of people are understandably concerned that, well, I don't want to be walking through massive amounts of construction when I'm, maybe why wouldn't I just wait until it's all done? What are your thoughts on, is that distracting from your experience in the park? What do you think?
I
I don't
like
think it
everything-
distracts. You
Go
notice
ahead,
it when you
Allison.
come in the front. If you're staying, in the Epcot area, you don't even see it. There are some there's some scaffolding up, but they've got some really cool artwork that they've put on it, so it makes a great wall for selfies. And they've got like the butterflies, and you can go and stand and have a butterfly beside you, and just very cool graphics. And every time I've been down there, it's less and less. And I think by the time October 1st rolls around and we're celebrating the the big anniversary, I think we will see a lot of it, hopefully, disappearing. So it hasn't affected it at all for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, that Disney does everything well, including construction. So
Right.
the walls are decorated and they make great photo ops, and everything, you're directed where to go. It's very seamless. So I don't find it to be an issue at all.
Yeah. And I think that they have still, especially like the last time that I was there, which was just, in June. So it hasn't been that long at all. But I feel like Allison said, it's kind of less and less every time I go back. So, at first, when they were first redoing things, it did impact traffic flow a little bit. It did make it a little bit harder to get around the park. I didn't notice that as much in June, because I do think that they have, they've finished a whole lot of the entrance area. And then, they've opened up even more, like those beautiful, I don't know the official names for those glass looking statues, but those are a new addition to the entrance, and they look absolutely awesome in person. So if you are, coming from anywhere but the Epcot area, you're probably going to be entering into the park and you're going to walk right past those. They make a great selfie spot. But yeah, I mean, I personally have not noticed the construction getting in my way. And once you get back to World Showcase, you really don't even see it.
You don't see them.
Mhm. Now, one thing we haven't mentioned yet, because it wasn't really one of our myths or anything, but there is a new fireworks show coming to Epcot too, which looks like it's going to be amazing. And it's called Harmonious, and it's going to be kind of a mixture of water features, state of the art fireworks. It sounds like it's going to be amazing from
Can't
what I've
wait.
heard. Yeah, can't wait for that one either. And that's also coming to the park October 1st. So if you have a fall or winter trip planned, hopefully you'll carve out some time to experience that. So we've talked about the myths. We've kind of debunked the top 3 myths that people will say, why you should skip Epcot. So now we're kind of going to all share our opinions, our top 3 reasons why we personally, when we're on vacation, why we don't skip Epcot. So who would like to go first?
I'll
I'll
go
go first. Go first.
Everybody goes first.
Everybody wants to go first.
My top reasons would definitely be, everyone knows that I am the ambassador of the avocado margarita that you can get at La Cava del Tequila at Epcot in the Mexico Pavilion. Every time I go, I beeline there actually. And then I go live to all of my Facebook followers, and they know it's not a trip to Disney for me if I don't go live enjoying my avocado margarita. So if you haven't been to La Cava, it's adorable. You go inside the pavilion and it's on the right, and they've got a whole range of different types of drinks, and they're really spectacular. Second would be the festivals, food and wine, the Festival of the Arts. I mean, there's so many festivals. It doesn't matter when you're at Epcot, there's always something to experience, and it's included with your stay your ticket to be able to walk through and see it. And if you choose to try one of their eats or sips, it's just a couple of dollars at one of the booths that they have set up. And then I absolutely adore the Italy Pavilion. I love eating at the restaurants there. I love sitting around and people watching, looking over the lake. I mean, it's just my favorite spot to walk through. So that would probably be my top 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next. So for me, my biggest one is the characters. I love that there's so many different characters that you can only see at Epcot. That's one of my favorite things about the trips. Second for me is the food, and just the wide variety of food and the experience, and how authentic the food is at the different areas of the World Showcase. I really enjoy that. And then lastly, it's kind of twofold. I would say I love Epcot because there's so much to see and do that's indoors in the pavilions and beyond. When you go to the seas with Nemo, you could spend an entire afternoon in there walking through the aquarium, seeing different aquatic life. They have dolphins, they have fish, they have turtles, they have stingrays. You could see anything there. And the same can be said for, we said the Beauty and the Beast sing along. That's inside. It's air conditioned. It's dry. And then same in the Canada Pavilion, they have a film. And when you ride Figment and you come out, pre-COVID and hopefully again soon, there's so many activities to take part in. So that's one of the things I really love about it, because it's comfortable, it's dry, and it's always interesting.
Mhm.
Excellent.
All right, my top three. My number one choice has to be the food. There are so many dining places there that are unique to Epcot. We love Beer Garden. We love trying all the different foods, Morocco, all the different foods there. And it's a good way to have your kids experience those foods, because you can just buy, a sample or like one little side dish and have them try some of the foods there. And that was one way that I actually not really forced my kids, but they were allowed to try different foods. So we love the food choices there, whether it's the festivals or the restaurants. And my second reason not to skip Epcot is the culture experience there. We always love talking to the cast members at each of the different countries, the entertainment that's often there. They often have different, and they're starting to bring that back. The different entertainment for each country. It's just a unique experience that, I wouldn't be able to bring my children to each of those countries to experience all in one day. So that's another reason. And then my third reason, and this is going to sound silly, but the popcorn. Like you can get, the refill bucket, sure, you can get the butter popcorn at the other parks, but at Epcot, you can get maple popcorn in Canada. Right outside of Soarin' and the Land, they have a popcorn cart where you can get cheddar popcorn refill and sour cream and onion. I mean, there's so many different flavors of popcorn. I know that sounds silly, but we love popcorn. So those are my top three reasons.
That maple popcorn smells
It is
amazing.
so good.
Too.
It is so good. And for what, $2 refill?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We walked by a couple of times to get a couple of refills.
For sure. And you can't get it with your popcorn bucket, but they also have that amazing caramel corn in the caramel kucha in the Germany pavilion. Oh my
know.
gosh.
I wish, right?
It's so good. So my number one reason why I don't skip Epcot is a little bit personal. When I was in high school, I got the opportunity to sing in the candlelight processional with my high school choir. And so that was such an like amazing, magical experience that it's just very, like, Epcot is very sentimental for me. And I remember watching the Illuminations, which was the fireworks show at that time. And, they only retired that one a couple years ago. It's just like watching that kind of takes me back to my own childhood and to those experiences. I love, getting like being able to watch the candlelight processional, and it's because it really hasn't changed, that much at all from, what it was like when I got to do that in high school. So that's my number one reason, is just it's nostalgia, it's sentiment for me. Number two would be the festivals. I, like a lot of you guys have already said, I love the festivals. My personal favorite one is Food and Wine. I love testing all of the different things that they have. My husband loves the Flower and Garden Festival. He's a photographer, so he loves to take pictures of all the pretty flowers. He took most of the pictures that we've been showing up on there. Actually, all the pictures that we've been showing up on the screen. And this is his all-time favorite, like, epitome of Epcot photo that he's ever taken, because he got the monorail there and those beautiful plantings. That is during the Flower and Garden Festival. My kids love doing the different scavenger hunts. We love, we just love the festivals. And there is almost year round at this point. There's a little bit of time where there's not a festival going on, but it's gotten to the point where it's pretty close to year round that there's some sort of festival going on at Epcot, whether it's the Festival of the Arts or the Festival of the Holidays or Food and Wine or Flower and Garden. There's almost always something to enjoy. And then lastly, I would agree with, I think it was Christina that said the characters. Epcot, I mentioned this earlier, Epcot is a great character park. So if you have someone who loves princesses, you can meet a whole bunch of princesses there. You can meet Mary Poppins. You can meet Alice. You can meet big name characters like Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy and Goofy. So like you really can take in a whole lot of character opportunities. And I'm so excited to see that they have started bringing Belle and Aurora and some other people back out for those socially distanced character opportunities. Plus, they did have, those cute, and they still do those cute cavalcades where, the princesses will ride through or other characters will as well. So there's a lot of Disney magic at Epcot. It's not just culture or food or anything like that. It's very much a Disney park, and you still get that Disney feel. So I think we do have a few comments that have come through tonight. So we're going to take a look at those before we finish up. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh,
Thank you.
yes, we were telling Allison before we started we love her ears and might come up to where you are and steal them. I don't know. Oh, Jen, there you go.
Thanks.
Okay, everybody's ears are great. Yeah. I feel like the plain Jane in the thing because mine are just pink. Y'all's are all Oh, we got a YouTube comment. That's awesome. Hello. Yes, my kids love that part of the park. And, I was telling somebody this not too long ago. We live in an area where we have a huge, very well-known, massive tourist attraction aquarium in our city. And my kids, have been to that aquarium multiple times. We had annual passes there. They've done that, but they still love the seas and they still love riding that ride in. They love Turtle Talk with Crush, which is coming back. Yeah. They love seeing the sharks. That's always their favorite part. Is where's the sharks? Like they're all about that. So yeah, I totally agree.
And what else is great about the seas that we didn't mention is there was just a Disney Plus show where they were showing how they care for all the animals at Animal Kingdom and as well. And the last time we were there, we went in the animal caregivers, they love the handlers. They love to talk to you about the animals. They love to share. And if you go in, we went in and asked about the manatee that had to have the little surgery on his fin. And we asked about the stingray that swallowed the almond. They point them out to you. They love to share that information with you. So it's such a great place to spend some time.
Absolutely. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great Thanksgiving dinner.
Nice. See, I feel like a lot of people have a lot of good, happy feelings about Epcot. It's not just us, so
for sure.
People don't skip it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think that was about the cast members that was in response to the cast members talking to you about, for sure. They're awesome to do that. Okay. I think that's all the comments that we have. Let me double check. Yep. I think that's all the ones. So thank you so much for everybody that joined us. We had a lot of fun, obviously, talking about Epcot. We loved getting to hear from you and your thoughts on that as well. If you are interested in planning a trip, if you want to experience this awesome park and all of Disney's other parks as well, feel free to visit or to message any of the agents that you heard from tonight. All of our contact information is back at the beginning of the video. So if you joined us late, this video will stay in the group for a while and forever. So you have the opportunity to go back and catch that contact information again if you missed it the first time. Remember, it is completely free to book your vacation through an agent. You're not going to pay any more for your vacation to book through us than you would if you just went on Disney's website and booked it yourself. We are compensated directly by Disney. The price of our commission is built into every vacation package, whether you book through an agent or you book on their website. So when you book on your own, you're actually paying for a service that you're not receiving. But when you book through one of our agents, you get the added benefit of concierge level vacation planning services at no additional cost to you. And we can plan everything from theme park vacations to all-inclusives to international travel to cruises. And speaking of cruises, next Sunday at 8 p.m., we will be in one of our cruising groups talking about Royal Caribbean Caribbean's return to sailing. We are so excited to see the cruise industry start to take off again and get to, get back in business, get back in motion. And so we're going to be talking about what that looks like for Royal Caribbean specifically. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you again next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.